Ah, Teha, impeccable timing. We've just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Garlane's part, the Populares have sent word that a vessel bearing Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yangxia. It would seem that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Lord Hien requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this critical juncture. According to the letter, Yotsuyu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Domo. Assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Asahi weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let us make straight ways for the Enclave then. Lord Hien will be waiting. I trust you will cope in our absence, Tataru. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Just make sure you come back safely. Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Ever since he drained our coffers dry buying that sword, Alfredo has had his purse strings in a death grip. I can't even buy a cup of tea without him going on about the dangers of frivolous spending. Yeah, that's what happens when Totaro scares the shit out of you. Ah, I see my letter reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Gosetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather the worse for wear, and despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he's recently collapsed. Oh? Good gods, is he alright? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it's high time he receives some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsetsu has scarce left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well. We will visit him at once. Teha, Alice, shall we?
Open wide now.
Please, Tsuyu. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself.
Oh, please. You like it. You like being fed.
I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon.
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
I don't know, man. It's really freaky seeing her like this. But she seems genuine about it, so...
We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
I'm more concerned about the fact that her stepbrother paid her a visit and gave her a thing. I think he said it was a mirror. But I don't... If she's genuine about her memory loss, I would prefer she stay that way. I don't want her snapping out of it because of some douchebag from the Empire.
Confined to... a gross exaggeration.
Uh-huh.
A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Take off your clothes.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
My lady, I assure you, this is not.
It's fucking. Alphino's so
Off with
like
them.
disappointed in
We need to
him.
wash you stink.
Alphino is like that mother is like, huh, you kids and your toys. That's a nice blanket he's got.
What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man. Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman! I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
What a big baby he is. They make a convincing pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire and her a model grandchild. Indeed. Had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I'm relieved to see Gosetsu has lost none of his spirit. But what a turn of events. I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him. You couldn't make it up. Although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man. With the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. Aye, he has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains. He will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given his all for liege and land, and we will ask no more. And what of his nurse? If Yotsuyu is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Yugiri, out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince, so what makes you so sure? I have been spying on Yotsuyu from the shadows, as you do, awaiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped, not once. She has remained in character from the first. Aye, the matter is settled. Yotsuyu will become Tsuyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we will need to present her to the ambassador one last time, to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Yeah, they make a pair. It would suck if she wakes up from that memory loss. So we wait here then. Lord Hien should not be long. My friends, have you seen Tsuyu? She's nowhere to be found. What? But the Garleans will be landing in a matter of moments. If she's fled, could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Yugiri is scouring the streets as we speak, but it's possible Tsuyu has left the Enclave altogether. Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? A fair-skinned woman, my lord? I do not rightly know. I think... Yes, my lord. Now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers whom I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her onto the boat. White as new fallen snow it was. Was she someone important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No. I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. That's a problem. Let me fly and I'll just get over and get her. It would seem that Tsuyu has crossed the river. Kami, help me. No good can come of this. Teha, forgive me, but could I ask you to interrogate the residents of Yuzuka Manor? One of the Namazu may well have seen our quarry. If everyone is in agreement, let us board the skiff and hope the Kami smile upon our efforts. Castrum Flum. Welcome to Yuzuka Manor. Yes. If there's anything you care to know, you need only... A pale-skinned woman? I've seen no such traveler, I'm sorry to say. Most sorry. Scaly-skinned Namazu, on the other hand, we have in abundance. Okay. Is this guy still dying? What was it, like 5-6 streams ago, and I saw this dude twitching, and he still is. Just put him out of his misery. Unusually pale skin. Yes. I saw this woman on the way back from my fishing trip. She had just crossed the shallows east of here, and was headed in a northeasterly direction, for the most part. Her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her. See no sign of Yotsuyu to the north. Perhaps she's somewhere further off to the northeast. Oh boy. We gotta find her. Still no sign of Yotsuyu. Perhaps she's yet farther to the northeast. Who are you? Help. Oh, I think this is a fate. Yotsuyu is nowhere to be seen, but lying on the ground a short distance to the north, you spy a familiar-looking wide-brimmed hat. Yeah, I guess that would be hers. A cursory glance is all that is required to confirm your suspicions. It is the same hat Yotsuyu was wearing when you found her in Sakazuki. Shit. Deha, before you ask, our search of Kusakari and its surroundings has yielded exactly naught. Save this chance reunion with you, I suppose. Mistress Alice has gone to assist her brother at the castrum. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Hien shortly thereafter. How did you fare at Yuzuka Manor? Any sign of our missing guest? towards Namai. By the Kami, if the villagers recognize her, it will not end well. We must hurry. Yugiri and I will check the paddies. The village square is yours. Oh, she's gonna get herself killed.
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon.
Oh no.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
Yeah.
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead!
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the Kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsugu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies, my lord! She would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then, it's all true. I'm sorry! I'm so sorry.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you?
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu, and treated as a citizen of Doma.
This is so rough. I'm actually scared for her.
I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
Ooh. I need some pancakes for that one. Yeah, exactly. How can you be scared of someone like that? I don't know why everyone is so angry, but I got the fruit. She's still thinking about Gosetsu, bless her. That would have been better avoided, but at least it did not end in bloodshed. And judging by Suyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. She was no escape attempt. This was no escape attempt. Nay, it seems it was an offhand request of Gosetsu's which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon. Ha! And they say fruit is good for the health. I do hope Gosetsu finds the taste to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let us continue on to Castrum Fluminis and our meeting with the ambassador. Alphino and Alice should still be there, conducting their search. Imperial airship has arrived. Okay. I'll never get over how ridiculous this looks when I do it. Alright, yeah, okay. Seems our Imperial guests have already arrived. It's time to meet with the ambassador.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look, well.
These aren't her parents. Or if they are, they definitely... Like, why would they be with the Empire?
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
No. Not at all.
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
And no better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Tsuyu's future to rest. I have sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give Gosetsu his precious Persimmon. Come, let us follow them. You have that look, Alphino. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence. Most like... We can discuss it upon our return. We should pay a visit to Gosetsu, reassure him about Tsuyu's fate. He will want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone!
Again?
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Help! Help!
Are these her parents?
Help! Help me!
I'm getting a lot of headaches lately. Holy shit. I need some ibuprofen.
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu! A font of misery!
Okay. I guess so much for being kind to her.
You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks, at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugani and start a new business.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu! What?
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
And you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
Please. I don't want to die.
Any sign of her? What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
We recovered the Naoris's remains and will hold the cremation anon. Would that they had never again set foot in Doma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. So my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Yotsuyu has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is by any measure a cruel twist, not least for Gosetsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of the contract, we were bound to surrender Yotsuyu to the Guardian's hands should her condition improve prior to the hour of the exchange. By that reckoning, all is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. What I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asahi went to achieve this outcome. Given his recent conduct and his apparent admiration for Xenos, it is plain he cannot be trusted. And that is to say nothing of the unexplained containers he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. A wise precaution. If the main structure of Castrum Fluminis is to be the stage for the exchange, then I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal, while we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force. It is entirely possible that the ambassador has arranged things there to his advantage. I will slip inside and make certain we have an unobstructed exit. Pray allow me to join you. I have some experience of Imperial facilities. And should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be of at least some use. Very good. That should be enough to guarantee us a way out of the castrum. Beyond that, however, we will need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. A Confederate Sekibun, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leave us far less vulnerable on the water, assuming, of course, Rasho can be convinced to part with one. Might I take lead on this? I've had dealings with Rasho and his pirates before. And I won't be alone, will I, Teha? Yeah, she has a crush on me. Much appreciated. I quite fancy parlaying with pirates again. It's just a shame Lise won't be there to reprise her role. I am certain you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I'll accompany you to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common brigands. Come now, Yugiri. They stood with us against the Empire. If we would ask for their aid once more, We must treat with them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord. Pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alphino and I shall be about our task. We should be on our way to Onokoro. Time is short and Rasho may take some convincing. Yeah. There's a face I did not expect to see. What brings the noble Lord of Doma into the company of bilge rats such as we? If you've come to offer Doman chains in place of Garlean ones, then I'm afraid you've wasted a trip. And what fine subjects you would make. With your fleet at our disposal, our restoration efforts would be hastened tenfold. Let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid once more. Mayhap you're confused. Doma's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save ourselves. Yeah, okay. Now we have no such incentive. We have sworn no oath to you and will not come running like hounds at their master's whistle. And I would not presume to treat you thus. I come to petition your cooperation as an ally of equal standing. We'll pull you out of the water if we see you drowning, but we're not in the business of doing something for nothing. Calm yourself, Mr. Salisay. We did not come here to moralize. We came here to talk, and there's more to be said. You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Hien. The losses we suffered at the Garleans' hands are no secret, but since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels to tax, so few pirates to tax them. We could do with some more hands on deck, and doubly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. She is sound enough down below, but when you load her up with conscripts and the waterline rises, those upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want your people to stay dry, you will do me a favor of swimming around the hull to check for weaknesses. That is, if Doman lords are not averse to getting their robes wet. Not this, Doman lord. If we each inspect a third of the ship, it shall be done in a trice. And I thought I had a knack for parleying with pirates. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success, and yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. Hien laughed. Well, well, I thought the rumors were exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. Where am I meant to be? Huh? There are no signs of damage here. Upon closer inspection, you spot a small crack in one of the planks. Okay. Hi, I'm the shipwright. Apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seems solid enough. On the port side, near the bow, you say? Alright, I'll have a look and see what I can do. My apologies, I seem to have lagged behind. I could float in the gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I'm happy to report no visible cracking or holes in my section of the hull. Your Lord Hien, the captain sent you to inspect the hull. Kami have mercy. Forgive us this discourtesy, my lord. Ha, it's quite alright. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you're of Doma. Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising, and I had nowhere else to turn. The Confederacy became my family. But someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father will be among them. Not that I can go back. There's no leaving once you've joined. How fares your Our Lady? Is she seaworthy? Captain, we've found a small crack on the port side, but I'll have it fixed before you know it. I see you have met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he is nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts, as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave his life. If he so chooses, I expect you to see they are provided for. I have heard that those who join the Confederacy forswear all ties with kin and homeland. Is that oath so easily put aside? If I allow it. I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them. But the yearning for home still lingers. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot. But he has scarce dipped his toes with us. If there's a life for him in Doma, he should have the chance to live it. Well said. The Empire's conquest has uprooted many and more, be it in Yangtze or out in the Ruby Sea. We have a duty to ensure that Ihanashi and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. Then the matter is settled. I will make preparations to cast off. Well, my friends, seems we have our ship. Let us return to the Enclave. Ashram was deserted, quite deserted. It was simple matter to plot the surest path out, hence our swiftness. Seems Yugiri and Alphino completed their task before us. They have been waiting. We scouted the structure and determined the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we will lead the conscripts outside and with all possible haste. From there, the Confederacy has pledged a ship to ferry us across the One River. Now we have but to attend the exchange and pray the Kami these precautions were unnecessary. While we were putting our contingency plans in place, I left Haruko in charge of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. We will see they arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they await us on the riverbank, not far from the castrum. Your party's assembled then? Aye, and ready for what lies ahead, I trust. Lest there be any confusion though, the tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange. That and whatever else Asahi has planned. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home. Yugiri, you are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We in the meanwhile will cover their escape, and lend what support we can. Your ship awaits you at the Castrum's loading docks. She will see you safely home. Then all stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
I don't trust it.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion, welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Nairi, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish!
Oh boy.
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself.
Yeah, she's back to being a bitch.
I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
Oh, the crystals, of course they are. Of course.
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning!
What is she even gonna turn into? The moon? She's gonna turn into the moon?
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run? Against such a foe, I would be more hindrance than help. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I have become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty?
Tsukuyomi. I would not have pronounced it that.
All I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorman. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
What is that smoke even?
Oh, it's going to be a long night. Well. Your end is near. you all the sweeter.
Why does it fade away? I understand it feeds on my spite, on my suffering. Come forth, shades of the dead, curse my name, strike my body. Oh, we gotta kill her. The people that hate her. And there's Asahi. Be gone. Oh, it's Gosetsu. You must survive. Perhaps, but it's too late for me. There can be no redemption. But you have him in your thoughts, though.
In darkness, the spider.
Okay, music kicking off.
From mortal, I rise on you. Suffused with night, I shall prevail. Take them.
Clearly, I don't understand what that mechanic was.
In moonlight's chill, shine petals veil.
Nope, it's a wipe. Both healers died. And she's still over half HP. So we got a lot to keep an eye on. I'm wondering, like, lore-wise, why does she still think of Gosetsu then? That's what I want to know. Can't stay too long on the same side of the moon on the ground in that phase. So you have to transfer from side to side then. Okay.
In darkness, the spider lily. From mortal, I rise on you. Suffused with night, I shall prevail.
swift night, I shall prevail!
Your end is near.
Holy shit, that was a fight. That was a good one. Is she actually dead though? Let me guess, her brother. How about I stop him? Why am I just standing there?
You really must learn to finish the job. 'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down. My! Such hostility! These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer. Will you surrender to anger then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course!
To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build. Oh, but I'm forgetting. They're already ash. This Dorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point.
Dudes.
It should have been mine. The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Dorma. I would have repaid his faith.
Really? All this for that?
No one alive loves him more than I! Instead, this harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Who did that?
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied.
It's really cringy when you hear the teeth banging on each other while he's jittering.
You should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength, just for you. What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead. He will mourn too, perhaps. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
I am at your disposal.
Asai, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary, and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma, and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
The icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague, and I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent, the hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent. I will not fail you, my lord. My master, Lord Xenos, he will come for you.
You have prevailed, I see.
Did we, though?
She is gone. Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Lord Hien!
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now. But our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here. But it seemed to me there was more to the tale. I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
How can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an imposter has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd. But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second-in-command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Yes.
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk his life on countless occasions. Next to him, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield. But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
Tis not for me to stop you, but I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
I knew Hasahi was planning some manner of treachery, but a summoning? Thank the kami you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Yotsuyu's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, aye, but she still had a choice, and she chose to submit to the ambassador's plan. It is little wonder Gosetsu departed in silence. I gather he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibun before the battle began in earnest, but the vessel yet waits on the riverbank for those who did not flee in time. Then I suggest we put this doleful place behind us, and make for the Enclave together. 'Twould be a shame to miss the joyous reunion. So Yotsuyu is actually dead now. At the cost of Gosetsu's heart, really. So these are the prisoners then. Okay. Good. They're free.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
I mean, Maximus could have just ran off and left, but he at the end he made it really. He still made it happen. He really could have just run off like he was told. Eastern bow. I really wonder what the hell is going to happen to Alphino.
Ah, there you are.
He's shaved.
Gosetsu, your hair. My friend, what have you done?
As if it's an insult. Maybe he wanted to.
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
No, he needs this. He needs this. He is getting tired of war.
A fulsome farewell makes for an enjoyable journey.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Doma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before. And with that, I take my leave.
I wonder if I ever get to see him again, like roaming around the village here. Oh wow, I didn't even know there was a summoning bell here. Hey, he's not a pirate anymore. Good. Yeah, just talked with him. That's so fine journey to you, my friend. A bittersweet, okay, I don't know why I had that accent when I said that. A bittersweet occasion, but there is yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray join us in the Kienkan. I would thank you properly. Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is that much closer to being realized. It's a day that will live long in memory, and one that would never have dawned without the courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you our deepest thanks. Lest you think me complacent, I assure you, I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. That Xenos lives is a source of grave concern. Mayhap the gravest, yet there is little to be done but wait for Alphino to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Gosetsu, by building a nation in which none need live in fear. I confess I miss him already, but the thought that he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed Yotsuyu such kindness? I believe the answer lies in past tragedy, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts, and in Yotsuyu's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but the little girl who was lost to him. After the loss of his family, Gosetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardship, strove beyond the limits of endurance without hesitation or complaint. Though Tsuyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that with her at his side, he might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. Would that the kami had been so minded. Even now, I labor to discern any meaning in Yotsuyu's fate. To deliver her from certain death, with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother. Can that truly have been their will? That I cannot tell you. The will of the kami is not for us to know. But what I do know is that for a brief moment, a girl known as Tsuyu lived among us, and that she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. I think it's time we were going, don't you? We've done all we can here, and we have a lot to report. But before we head back to the Rising Stones, let's call in at Ralger's Reach. We should be the ones to tell Lise about Xenos. After everything we went through together, we owe her that. I hope we don't see the last of Gotsuyu here. Gosetsu even. I combined the words Yotsuyu and Gosetsu. So this is where we part ways, I guess. Just off to the next great adventure. On our way to Shadowbringers eventually. After Yotsuyu turned from Tsuyu, I figured that she was going to either die or be a recluse or an outcast somewhere. There was no way she was going to be put in prison, so she was going to die at some point. Just so happened to be through a trial, you know? Oh, hi, Lise. How you be? Yeah, Alice, you're back. No Alphino. It's good to see you, Lise. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what will most certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Garlemald. It's a long story, but we have evidence that Xenos might still be alive. What? But if this is a joke, God, this had better be a good joke. Or it better be a joke. I don't care if it's good or bad, just tell me it's a joke. Look, I know what I saw, alright? We all saw it, and here you are saying that he's alive and well and living in the high life back in Garlemald. I know how ludicrous this sounds. I'm still having difficulty believing it myself. But while I might doubt the word of an Imperial envoy, I'm inclined to trust Tejas. He saw the Crown Prince through the Echo, in a meeting that could only have taken place in the recent past. I mean, could he be a clone, maybe? No, it must have been, I don't know, some kind of really convincing imposter. Xenos is dead, and we had a great big hole in his neck. Oh, well, they didn't show that. We buried him. Aye, and someone went to the trouble of desecrating the bastard's grave, remember? Those gilded halls. Whatever are you talking about? Tancred, what brings you to the Reach? Alphanode had me lending a hand at the Saltery, keeping an eye on the rebuilding work and so on, just until operations were up and running. And now that they are, I thought I might look in on you before wending my weary way back to headquarters. Forgive me if I misheard, but is there some suggestion the late Crown Prince could have gotten better? If so, might I suggest a quick look inside his coffin as our first order of business? As much as I hated the man, it doesn't feel right defiling his grave. But if it will put this rumor to rest, I suppose we have to. And when there are no curious eyes about, if we can manage it. Xenos is buried up at Bloodhow in Locks. His grave was set apart from the others and left unmarked, so as to not upset the locals. And it shouldn't be too hard to find. Nago, you're in charge until I get back. Alright. Time to do some tomb raiding. You know, I don't think we've ever done... Have we? That's a... Temple of the Fist. We've never done that. And yet, either that's coming up or that's an optional one. God, I think I was off stream doing this. But this little spot here, and specifically here. Okay, so you see how up here there's like two towers, a little large stairway that leads to the top of the bridge, or not bridge, but wall here. This is where one of the aether currents were. And man, I was wringing my head, like, how the hell do I get up here? From like down here, I'm looking up and seeing it, and it really came down to going all the way around this confusing area here. Actually, no, it wasn't here. It was... I had to go all the way east to Bloodhow, which we're supposed to be at. And I guess it makes sense we'd have to go to Bloodhow now, because this whole section here is a grave site. So I had to go through all of that. And from down under and then back out to the surface to the royal hunting grounds, and then find my way here out, popping out from there just so I can go down and get to... It was so convoluted. That took... I think that took about an hour to figure it out. And now I don't have to give a shit, because I got flying. This piano portion of the nighttime soundtracks and all of the expansions, this one is my favorite. It's so... like, you have these low moments, and then you have this big, like, almost piano chorus moments in this one track. It's my favorite of all the nighttime tracks, just because of how emotional it sounds. At least how emotional it makes me feel. Oh, we're here already. And then, so yeah, you see all these graves, and then you go in there, and there's like an entire grave site. Most of the graves are grouped together. Yeah. Just so that no one tries to get to it, I guess. He's trying to make bets. This is it. Gods, he better be in there. Someone scrawled all over the stone a while ago, but I had it scrubbed off and thought no more about it. So no one thought to check if the coffin was still occupied. Well then, we were presented with but one course of action. And we had best be sure we're not observed in the doing of it. Shall we begin?
Oh dear. We seem to be missing a corpse.
Okay, close it back up, quick.
Well, it must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
Who are you? This is what we get for staring at a spot for too long. It's like, okay, it's missing. Close it back up. Could have taken no more 5 minutes. Not even. If there's no corpse, then are we to conclude the rumors are true? Not necessarily. We might still be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to the tale of Xenos' resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alphinaud's theory of a Ascian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell you they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. Yeah, true, Dankrid. You're saying an Ascian is walking around in Xenos' body? It seems a distinct possibility. Once I have put this grave back the way we found it, I shall pay a visit to the people responsible for interring the Crown Prince. Before leaping to any conclusions, I want to know for sure if a body was ever buried here, and how certain we are that Xenos was properly dead. If he wasn't, that was some trick. He as good as cut his own head off. Anyway, Roban needs to hear about this. If you find anything out, send word to me at Ralgo's Reach. I don't know why I'm surprised. With matters settling down in Doma, we would do another crisis. Shall we make for the Rising Stones then? Past time we shared these developments with the others. While I was waiting for you to arrive, I spoke with Yorion J over Link Pearl and gave him a full report. Your Stola is on her way, and should be here any... Alice, Taiha, 'tis good to see you safe and well. What news have you from the east? Disturbing developments indeed, given all that we know. I too would conclude that an Ascian now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger might fool the Crown Prince's subordinates, but Teha? Nay, Alphinaud had the right of it. Would that his wisdom extended to the question of his own safety, capable though as he has become, the ventures alone into the enemy's stronghold, and the shadowy web of the Paragons, like as not. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in a position to criticize, but I'm worried. I just wish there was something I could do for him besides pray. Meanwhile, on the pure path. We cannot suffer icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point? More than clear. The icon in question was summarily dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead, and the rite beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan, every party behaving exactly as required. My methods may seem extreme, but there's no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of this star. What if the king, or whatever his name is suspect of his own son? I think it is. I don't know. I don't remember the relation, but what if he thinks he's like, okay, something's off with him. Who is this? Rogadin soldier. What are you doing fiddling with that thing? I asked you a question, soldier. What are you? Have you lost your mind? Yeah. I have lost many things, but my mind is yet my own. There upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final bow, only to find that the finale was but an intermission. Is that Xenos? Is that the real Xenos, or shall I use this chance to repent for my sins, embrace goodness and mediocrity? Nay, I think not. While the one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. Okay, so he talked about the hunt. The Xenos talks a lot about the hunt. So that's him. But why? Cycle. Under the moonlight. It's been an eventful few days, hasn't it? But I suppose all we can do now is wait for word from Alphino. I don't recall the last time I had nothing pressing to be getting on with. We should probably make the most of it. Shall I put on some tea? Tea would be lovely. You may regale me with a tale of your adventures in the Far East, and of your encounter with this new primal especially. I'll put the kettle on then. That table looks free if you'd like to take a seat. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. It's recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Alright, let's do it. I'm game. Interesting. So this Tsukuyomi... Wait, she pronounced it Tsukuyomi. Was summoned in much the same manner as Susano, via the medium of a sacred relic. That's right. They believe their gods, or kami, reside in physical objects. Given the danger they represent, it may behoove us to begin a catalogue of such relics. But if we were to contain the threat, we will require a better understanding of the summoning method itself. I believe I shall pay a visit to Doma and learn what I can on the subject. A fine idea. And I know for a fact that our friends in Doma will be grateful for any information which could help prevent further summoning in the region. I will pen you a letter of introduction. Lord Hien will wish to welcome our resident expert on aetherology. Greetings. Could it be that I'm in time for tea? Certainly looks that way. Come on, sit down and tell us how your investigations went. After you left, we went about questioning Bloodhouse gravekeepers. They all told much the same story. Once Elise and her officers had confirmed Xenos is dead, his corpse was interred under strict supervision. There seems no reason to doubt their testimony on that point, but when I mentioned the defacement of Xenos' grave, accounts grew rather more vague. None reported having seen any suspicious persons in the vicinity, and all assumed the act to have been perpetrated by a vengeful Alamegan. Crucially, however, I was able to confirm that when the offending scroll was removed, as per Lisa's instruction, no one involved thought to check the contents of the coffin. By that stage, 'tis like that the corpse was already missing. Assuming Xenos has not in fact risen from the dead, we are left with two possibilities. Either the body was disposed of to lend credence to the claims of an extremely committed imposter, or an Ascian has taken up residence within it. If Asahi was as fervent a devotee as you believe, he would not have been fooled by an impersonation, however committed. We must assume that we are dealing with an Ascian, and proceed accordingly. Agreed. The question is, how many more monsters are waiting for Alphinaud and Garlemald? Their presence was his chief reason for going. He understood the risks. I only hope that he did not underestimate the extent of the infestation. Meanwhile, in the hyper Master Alphinaud, we're making good speed towards our destination. It's aught amiss. Damn, Alphinaud is short compared to them. Nay, 'tis just, I can see naught from my cabin. Was curious to know the land over which we flew. Ah, I'm afraid our military craft are built with little thought for such niceties. I'm happy to indulge your curiosity, however. We are presently passing over the burn on the western edge of Othard. Even with the benefit of a porthole, your gaze would have been greeted with naught but malms upon malms of lifeless earth. I've read something of the burn. It was described as a desolate wasteland, bled dry of every last drop of aether. Aye, it is believed that a succession of Aegon summonings was responsible. When Emperor Solus first came to Othard and beheld this blight, he is said to have reeled at the scale of the devastation. He declared Aegon a threat to our very star's existence, and issued an empire-wide decree ordering the eradication of all such entities. Report. We're under attack, sir. Magitech armor, no visible designation. Magitech? But who? All cannons, return fire. Damage report. Main reactor's been hit. Helm unresponsive. We're going down, sir. Damn it. They know exactly where to hit us. All hands, brace for impact. Rest in peace, Alphinaud. Glad to have you back, Master Alphinaud. We've landed in one piece, more or less. But the air infiltration system is damaged and the ship is filling with smoke. We must gather our survivors and get out while we still can. Would it be funny if they gave us a good control of Alphinaud and tried to escape? Aye. Oh, we're doing a thing. It's not just cutscenes then. Cool. What the fuck? Wait, I was joking. That was a joke, game. Okay, that was... You have to know the difference between my fantasies and a joke. Experiencing role-playing, experiencing what it is to be someone else. I'm Alphinaud. And my, what is this? Deals unexpected damage with a potency of... Deals unexpected potency of the... bind. Ruin, Starstorm, Physic. That was a joke. There's no way they... I got that right. Oh my god, I'm him. Oh my god, I've got a carbuncle. Wait. Can't pet him. Search for survivors. Where? Destroy wreckage. Right, heal him up. I want to use my carbuncle now. Thanks. I don't think I would have made it. Yes, you very likely saved his life. The question of who would try to attack us, though. The misery, the prince wishes none of us. Okay, so it's the prince's fault. Now come to parley of fear, ready your weapons. I've got a buff, Shining Moonstone, reducing damage taken. Oh, they actually mean for us to be dead then. They're just gonna keep coming. Confound it. Not here. Not like this. And who you be? Who in the Emperor's name? Enemies of our enemies. Introductions can wait. You are calm in a crisis, Master Alphino. Let us finish this then. Oh, they've got him. I think that's our ally. Okay, cool. So that's what that does. My thanks, boy. This is God of War now. My thanks. Your intervention proved most timely. Well, well. Did not think to meet an Eorzean in this place, let alone a scion. You know of me, sir. I have some small history with your order. But I would speak of the present. Know you of your assailants and the severity of your predicament. The soldiers bore an insignia of the Emperor's personal guard. And I could venture a guess as to their motive, but you yet have us at a disadvantage, sir. Will you not tell us who you are? Our names are not yours for the asking, and as for our purpose, let this be your answer. An Ascian mask? The face of our prey. You hunt Ascians? How do you do that? We must away before more arrive. Come with us or stay, but make your choice now. Even should we manage a long trek out of the burn and secure passage to the capital, we would no doubt be greeted by the Emperor's guard. Indeed, we accept your gracious offer, Shadow Hunter will suffice for the present. Is he a shadow bringer? Come. I shall come. My dude has hunted them. Holy shit. That's concerning. Maybe in a good way if he's on our side, but... Oh, this is intolerable. But as much as I wish it were otherwise, there's nothing we can do for Alphinaud now but pray for his success. Well, that is not entirely true. While your brother journeys to Garlemald from the east, I could make my way there from Alamigo to find out what there is to be learned in the Empire's western provinces. Then I'm coming with you. I can't very well sit here sipping tea if there's action to be taken. Forgive me, Alice, but the provinces are hostile territory, and stealth is all important. It's safer that I go alone. I can sneak well enough when the situation demands it. Don't patronize me. Not you too. I understand your frustration, I'll say, but Teha has the right of it. You must defer to Dankbeard's expertise in this matter. Fine. Just promise you'll be careful. Oh, look who it is! Ori Boulder. I want to talk with him. I haven't seen him in such a long time. There's Coltonet. Sees himself squarely in the path of danger. As a fellow Scion, I shall render whatever aid I can to ensure his safe return. He was twice as large. Even Hori might hesitate before embarking alone in his... Wait. I know I need... Is this who I think it is? I need to give Isildur my undivided attention, but these waves of brotherly love make my mind drift to naughty places. Focus, Aenor. Focus. Like... She's still on about them. Still wants a threesome, for some reason. Can't get her mind off it. Like, not like for some reason, but with them specifically. Oh yeah, Home and basically the Domans that were living here for the longest time since ARR. They've gone back home now, right? There's Alien. Before the refugees decide to return to the Far East. Yeah. Basically, yeah. And there's my boy Real, still alive. Gathered with scraps of intelligence we could. Yeah, true. Repulsive, reckless, gotta admire his style. Seems that praying is to be the extent of my contribution after all, but I will stay behind, as I have been bid. We all have our talents. Mine just happened to involve a silver tongue and soft souls. Promise to send word the moment I learn aught of consequence. See that you notify me too. I mean to depart for Doma as soon as I find a suitable East Aldenor vessel to bear me thither, but I shall return if I'm needed. Be sure to drop in whenever you're next in the area, Teha. With any luck, I'll have a painfully detailed report from Alphino to share. New chapter of New Game Plus has been added. Interesting. Why does... That doesn't look like... You are deep in thought. I look worried. I look like someone... I look like... That's my look. Wait, I have to take a picture of this. It looks like I'm thinking there's a ghost behind me, but it's just Alice.